Alright, guys, so I have to refilm myself. Um, my screen capture for some reason didn't work, but basically what I was saying was I just rewatched it too. I was like, "What jelly?" Um, basically what I was saying was I'm gonna take a break. From trading for this week. I'm gonna take today, the rest of today off. I'm going to take tomorrow and then Friday. I'm gonna take those three or these next 2 days off with including today also. I'm just gonna really reflect, really reevaluate, look at the man in the mirror and ask myself like why am I making these decisions, these silly decisions? Why am I unable to follow my rules? Why am I, just have a deep self-reflection like where am I going wrong? Why am I doing these things? Why am I listening to that dark little voice in my head? That little, those negative thoughts where like, hey, enter here, risk this much. Like why am I listening to that? Why am I giving into these certain behaviors? Um, and really just reevaluating. Because again, I'm just thinking about like I reflected and I thought about, like the version of me that started, like what the version of me that started with all that information, now and all these experiences now, would he continue to do this? No, he wouldn't, like he would look at me right now and be like, "What are you doing, bro? You have it all figured out, and you're still deciding to give into these, bad character traits that have nothing to do with trading. Like they're a reflection of you. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and get better. Like it's not trading anymore. It's just me, and that's what I'm doing. Like I'm realizing it's not my system. And I don't have to watch any more videos. I don't have to listen to more podcasts. I don't have to do any of that. And I just have to reflect, look at myself in the mirror, and ask myself, why are you making these silly mistakes? Like why are you giving into these negative character traits, and why are you giving into these negative behaviors, and why are you like listening to these thoughts, and that's really it. No more, trading content, consuming trading content, all that, I'll say it in the vlog. You'll see it in the vlog, Life Maxing episode 3. um but yeah, for this week has been very rough. I lost my fundeds, lost 2 trades in a row now. I've been tearing up. I won't lie, I've been tearing up, bro. I've been praying, asking how can I bounce back from this. So let's go over this real quick. I'm about to hopefully, yeah, all right. So y'all see everything, okay? All right, so I went over this trade. I went over my bias. I went over everything. So I'm just gonna go over it real quickly. Um, yeah, this is what I've been drinking. I've been drinking this. Has been helping me a little bit recuperate. Just, um, yeah. Here is the account. The evaluation. Again, 1% risk. 2 trades in a row, back to back L's. This is what I'm facing, bro. This is real life. This is what I'm facing. Very, very easy day. AM session. We have news later today, but very, very easy to read. Um, just very easy. Very, very easy. And I'm over here overcomplicating things by risking too much, entering too early, um, rushing the process, being impatient, and just thinking, like, I gotta do this. I gotta do X, Y, and Z so I can see X, Y, and Z results. I'm focusing on the wrong things. Um, it's all right here too. I'm just telling myself, bro, it's all mental. Um, but yeah, here was my bias. I was bullish for today on the daily time frame. The daily 4 hour time frame, we had a 4 hour CRT form, so I was looking to target this high. And then on the 1 hour time frame, have that high marked out. We also had a 1 hour candle range, low sweep or a CRT, and then eventually we also had this right here, a what? This is your 10 a.m. open, your third candle. So and then on the 30-minute time frame, we also had that little candle range real sweep. We also had that CRT aligning. Same thing with 15-minute time frame. Not really 15-minute time frame. We had a 15-minute intermediate. We had a internal resistance liquidity or a CIBI, and this would also be your break even point on the 5 minute right here. But I'm gonna show you guys the trade and why I took shorts. My bias originally, I didn't even have a bias. I didn't even know what I was doing this morning. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't recall what I was even thinking. I don't even remember what I was processing. I just was not in the right state of mind, honestly. And this is why it's so important to be in the right state of mind when you trade. You need to build a bias. You need to have a foundation. You need to do every single thing correctly, or else the market will punish you. And again, thinking that you need to watch more videos, learn this, learn X, Y, and Z. You don't need that. You don't need that. I don't need to watch more ICT. I don't need to watch this trader with this strategy or order flow, this and that. I need to reflect. I need to learn about myself, and I need to grow as a person. And yeah, this look FOMC right here, forming a 5 minute IPG, beautiful trade. I know someone's gonna take this later. We failed to sweep, this little liquidity and this one. It goes to show we're really bullish. If we do close above here and we start, having this change in state of delivery, target all this right here, low resistance, especially this right here. This little highs are gonna be very, very key highs into aligning with this one, but that doesn't matter. We're gonna talk about this. This was the first presented for value up right here that I was looking at to go inverse. Did then eventually take longs, but then I realized we had a 3 minute Sibi, which I was looking at to see if we could make it an inverse and then target these lows. And I was risking around 15 micros. So if we go to the 1 minute time frame right here, I was risking around 15 micros. 15, bro. That is unhealthy. I had a 16-point stop with, a 42-point take profit, and I was risking around 16 micros. 16, bro. I was rushing the process, impatient, greedy, FOMO, had every single negative emotion that you can name in this trade. I wasn't even waiting for the 3 minute closure to then eventually enter and then eventually go break even here, and then if we went break even, hit us back at break even, that's fine. But the market didn't even close down there, and it was clearly bullish. And then on the 5 minute time frame, we also had I'm going over the best trade here. We also had another first presented fair value up here after forming this one. um, let's just leave this one right here. So yeah, after forming this one, we had another fair value up form, and then eventually, if you entered up here, you probably would have got stopped out if your stop loss was at the rejection block low. But if you went to the 1 minute, wanted a rebalance, which is crucial, and you waited for 10 a.m., even if you entered down here, stop loss down here, you probably wouldn't have gotten stopped out. But the best case scenario would be, waiting for this inversion to form on the 1 minute time frame to then eventually take that trade right here. This would have been your best setup, honestly, and then eventually letting it run and having your stop loss at these projection block lows, targeting, the standard deviation leg on the 1 minute, the 2 standard deviation, if not the 5 minute one, the retracement leg, the 1 standard deviation. They align perfectly for the market to eventually give you that 1 to 2 that you are looking for. So that is really it. That's the best trade. This trade should have not been taken, bro. And even with the 5 minute trade here, it wasn't bad. It was not bad. Especially if you took this trade. All right, so if we had, you know, this trade marked out right here, you probably would have gotten stopped out, unless you had your stop loss down here and you had your take profit up here, which would have been more ideal. It would have not gotten met and you would have gotten stopped out. Um, but again, this is overextended inside of this range right here. You want to be taking this trade inside equilibrium, if not more ideal areas. But again, it happens to the best of us. You probably would have got stopped out, or if you would have lost, it's fine. You will bounce back. I promise you. If not entering before the 5 minute closure, in my honest opinion, probably entering at the 2 minute one, which would have been more ideal. You probably would have got break even when the market came back down, and then the market would have moved and reached your objective, which is fine. You're still gonna learn. You're still gonna grow. You're still gonna get better. 9 times out of 10, the market will move with speed to your objective, breaking this, retrace, and then move up higher and continue going. But again, having the right idea in the back of your mind is more important than anything, and executing correctly is also more important. The 3 minute one also formed that inversion right around here. Again, market pushes up, has this one right here though, and then it retraces back down. Change in state of delivery entry would have been good, honestly, too. Just overall, the market, honestly, even if you waited for the 15-minute closure, is way too high up there. So again, the best case scenario is waiting for that 5 minute retracement, mech model type entry, to then actually push you up higher and target higher prices. Even though this fair value got disrespected, you want to use this one, I guess. Again, just complicated. But if we use order flow or volume profile range analysis, 5 minute time frame, this is your range right here that you're dealing with. This is your value area high, your point of control, and your value area low. I've been using this, incorporating this slowly but surely. Of course, I was using, like delta, footprint, big trades. I was using all those concepts on ATIS a couple of weeks ago, but I realized, I need to work my way from the foundation using, volume profile with my system, and then eventually slowly building my way up into this. But again, what's the whole point of adding concepts? That's what I was talking about earlier, was what's the whole point of adding new concepts and new strategies and thinking that I have to learn more and grow and do this and that, when in reality I'm the one that needs to grow. I need to reflect inward. The person using it won't be able to use it correctly. I'm not even using my system correctly. I'm not even able to execute correctly because again, I'm just so caught up in all these things. I just can't do it correctly. So there's no point. So I'm just want to work my way up slowly and surely and just continue to work on myself and continue to reflect, then eventually be able to use these concepts to their full capacity and to like maximize their potential. Um, but yeah, here we had our 5 minute range, 5 minute point of control. Market retraces back down, and I told myself, bro, I told myself that I was going to what be bearish if we broke below, form that 3 minute inversion, and continued and broke below this low. We would probably be bearish and continue to the value area low, and probably the range low. But then eventually that never happened. The market formed that inversion, retraces, and again we hold the point of control. The market pushes up higher and reaches value area high, which we were anticipating this whole entire time. Now, if we go to the object tree, we go to our new fixed range volume profile here, and we draw this one right here. You can see here that the market also formed what a new value area high. Market retraces back down from this range, and then eventually what fails to respect it the first time. Goes, doesn't reach point of control yet, pushes up, fails to what disrespect the value area high and continue up higher, and the market comes back down, reaches the point of control, and then eventually what goes up higher. So let's mark this out red right here, right there. This, I'm trying to be more precise, honestly. So, and I know volume profile on trading view isn't the best. I'm not the most advanced order flow trader, but I'm slowly getting there, brothers. Of course, I have other strategies I'm using, and that I'm trying to build upon. But my main system, my main foundation is what I'm working on, and that's what I love using every single day. That's what I'm most comfortable to, and that's what my eye gravitates towards the most. Um, yeah. And then here you can see that there, what this range, the market what respects the point of control. It fails to break below it, fails to do that, and then it continues up higher, disrespects value area high now after the market rebalanced itself. It's going back into the imbalance, and it wants to push up higher. After being balanced for so long on the 5 minute range, the 1 minute range also balanced itself out. So both of the time frames balance themselves out. Now they want to push up higher, and that's what happens here. Disrespects value area high, breaks above it this time, and then now it wants to use it as a means to what support price to push it to the upside to reach that value area high, from the 5 minute range. So that is pretty much what happened here, bro. That's how you know that 1 minute inversion is gonna hold, and it's time. It's time. It's ready. All the confluences are aligning together, and then that's really it, bro. But again, I'm gonna step away, take my time, reflect, analyze, review, analyze myself, bro. Because again, I have my system. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. I'm using all these advanced concepts, this and that. I'm not showing you guys the full picture, but I have more that I'm using, and even then, just the foundation enough is more than enough. Even just using this right here is more than enough. This is just like 60 to 70% win rate. Adding the other stuff, adding the other concepts, this and that, bumps it up to 80 to 90. But why am I still not getting payouts? Why am I still not being profitable? Why am I? It's because it's me. It's me. Internal reflection is needed. But I took away the standard deviations. If you had targets, the standard deviations would have been the best targets. And again, even these highs right here, just these highs right here would have been honestly the most important objective for now. So that would have been your 1 to 2. And that's really it, bro. That's really it. This is the best trade for today. My trade should have never been taken. Not following the system, not having the 3 minute closure, not having the continuation form, not sweeping the highs, all these external highs, and then eventually move down lower first. It's a failure swing market. Forming manipulation below these lows, and then eventually continue up higher and push above it. So again, it's me. I'm the issue. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better every single day, bro. Right now it's just journaling, meditating, praying, asking God, like to help me, guide me, bro. Just to guide me, to show me, like, what habits do I need to instill? What do I need to do to get better, to maximize my potential, bro? Because I know he humbled me. I thought I had it all figured out, this and that. But again, the charts, I may have that figured out, this and that. But it's just, I need to figure myself out. And that's what I'm trying to work on every single day. So that's pretty much really it. Taking the day off. Yeah, peace.